Hey beautiful, how you doing today? Welcome back to the channel, or welcome if this is your first time joining us, and if it is, please make sure you hit subscribe. Hit subscribe. I really appreciate all these new subscribers. It's really cool, and mostly I love the comments. I really love you guys' comments, and I love interacting with you guys. You know, it feels like we're having like a conversation, you know, a dialogue. I love when I get comments like that, when people, they're like, oh, I love the style of your videos, they're very conversational. That is what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to open up a dialogue, like, you know, get us talking, especially because the narrative of, you know, gay people in prison, it's so twisted, and I'm trying to get us talking where you can actually uncover what it actually is. And in speaking towards that, this video I'm going to name 5 things that make gay guys be the most girly. How do they turn into girls in prison? Gay people, I've said this several times, but just in case this is your first video ever coming across me, gay men in prison are not gay men. They are not men. They aren't thought of as men. They aren't treated as men. They are considered to be just something else. Because even though I say women, because that's what, as a gay man myself from prison, I know that that is the idea, like the ideal that you're striving towards. But I would say other guys that probably would, you know, who have been to prison and hear me talking like this, they probably would be like, well, ain't nobody thought of them people as like women, you know. But that's where it's frustrating for me, and I felt like it's a very disrespected type of thing, because that's true. We're not thought of as women, but we're not thought of as men either. So the treatment and the way we're talked about is actually something that's like subhuman, like less than a man, obviously, but alien, more alien than a woman, you know. So it's just a very frustrating thing. But nevertheless, as a gay guy, that is your goal, your intention is you're striving to be as womanly as possible, to appeal to the guys as feminine as possible, because the more you remind the guys of a woman, the more attractive you are to them, and the more that they will do for you, which it's prison. The name of the game is live to see another day, survive by any means necessary. This is the code everybody is living by in prison. You know, whatever your advantage is what you're going to utilize in order to try and get by while you're in there. And for the queens, honey, for the gay people, it is reminding them of women, because they're going years without any contact with women. any even simulation of women, you know, like they are surrounded by men and all the macho-ness and testosterone and, you know, headstrong, head-butting type of crap, and a lot of guys, they get tired of it, and then they come across someone that walks like a woman, like they say, walk like a duck, quack like a duck, it must be a duck type of thing, and, you know, they get charmed by it. So 5 ways of how, that was a really long intro compared to usually I just jump into, you know, the topic, but I just wanted to give a little background context for anybody that's new to this whole concept, because it is twisted, and I'm very well aware it's twisted, but that's why I'm talking about it, because it's not something that I don't know about every gay person, but I know me and maybe, you know, a good number of gay guys, it's not something you go into prison thinking that you're going to do. It's something that you're taught, you know, over a period of time as you serve out your time. You're taught to be like this because of the way that the guys interact with you and the comments that they make towards you. For example, when I was in jail, prior to even going into prison, people, they'd be like, oh, Lucky is your nickname. You need a nickname like Jazzy or Jasmine or Danielle. And I'm like, the hell? Like, why would I have a name like that? Danielle? I'm not in, nothing against anybody that is in transition or going into transition, but I'm not. So it's like, why do I need a name like Danielle? For what? For what? Lucky is the name. But anyway, so the first thing that you would want to do to appear as a woman in prison is you want to make your voice sound as feminine as possible, sound as girly as possible. This was something that I did myself, and it's very strange because it's not something I did like instantly. Like one day I'm talking, I have a soft voice anyway, and a lot of people told me that I sound like a girl anyway. I'm always told this my whole life, so I'm aware of it, but I changed it. I like embraced it even more so, I guess you could say. So over time, I didn't just switch, but as I would talk to guys more and more, I noticed that I started making my voice go higher, and my giggles would just be a little bit more, I don't know, just, is this very weird to do this now? I don't know. It feels weird now because it's not normal out here, but in there, the more I did it, it was more comfortable because of the response I would get from the guys, you know? And I wasn't really so much aware of it until I got into the relationship with Cam, and Cam and I started to really become serious, and we're getting to know each other, like, honestly, genuinely, and as I became more and more comfortable with him, it was like I had two different personalities, because in the cell, while I'm with him, I would talk the way that I'm talking with you, and be very comfortable just with myself, just as a regular gay guy. I'm not like a masculine person, but I'm just a gay guy, you know? But then if somebody came into the cell to kick it with us, or we're out in the pod, you know, cooking, or just hanging out in the pod or something, and somebody's around, then all of a sudden my voice would just get a little bit higher, and it would just switch like instantly, you know? And that's when I kind of started noticing. I'm like, oh wow, I am sort of like playing a character, you know? But that's a lot of, all the gay guys do this. This is something all of them do. Some have natural feminine voices, like myself. Others, you can actually tell they are putting on a voice. They are trying to sound girly, and it is a little strange sometimes. Just, you know, it's just strange sometimes. I mean, you know, it's strange for me. I know my voice is weird. Sometimes I'd be playing back these videos, and I'd be thinking to myself, like, my voice is just so unique. But that's number one. Number two is you need to remove all hair. You cannot have any hair on your body, especially facial hair. That was something that I got slack for, you know, just complaints, whatever, comments, the entire time that I was locked up, because I've had a mustache since I've been able to grow facial hair. I've had a mustache. I like the way that it looks on me. I like facial hair in general. I like guys that have facial hair, and it's kind of interesting actually, because Cam, he's like naturally smooth, and he's one of the guys that he can't grow a full beard. He grows like hair in patches, so he always keeps his cheeks smooth, and he does have a mustache and chin hair, and that's about what he gets, but he can't even grow like a full goatee. I could actually do designs with my goatee, and when I was younger, I did used to play around with it. Like, I would have just the outline. I've had a full goatee in the middle before. I like facial hair, and I've always loved it on me. And so now in there, everybody's constantly asking me, why do I have a mustache? Why don't I remove my mustache? What you doing with a mustache? How come you got a mustache? Like, all the freaking time, I'm like, oh my gosh, why do you have a mustache? And more importantly, why do you care that I got a mustache? Like, what? But this is the prison culture. You have to have no hair as a gay person. The queens will say something, and the men too will say something. Where I did kind of adjust myself is I started removing all my body hair. I never used to shave my arms, and I don't now. You can you see that? Like, I have hair, it's light hair, but I started shaving my arms while I was in there. I've always had hair on my legs, and actually I just shaved, so I don't even think you can really see anything. But I've always had hair on my legs, like my lower legs, because I played soccer, and I'm a guy. I like, you know, I like hair. Like, and then it's weird because in the gay community out here, masculinity is sort of like revered, you know, in the gay community. Like, gay guys love masculinity. They love masculine guys. And you have a lot of masculine guys in the gay community that actually want another masculine guy. So there are feminine guys that, myself is one of them. I'm one of them. There are feminine guys that actually try to play up their masculinity. I'm one of them, you know? Like, I try to be a little bit more masculine to attract masculine guys. Can you believe this? In the gay community, I'm trying to attract masculine guys by being a little bit more masculine. But in prison, it's like the best way that I can get the most masculine guy is by being as girly as possible. It's just insane. I had to rewire my whole, like, way of thinking, you know? But I always kept lower hair legs, and usually I would shave like my thighs, my privates, of course, and then I like to keep like my stomach and my chest hairless. I'm a hairy person. Cam is blessed because he ain't got no hair on his body, but naturally, you know, so it sucks because I try to always like appear hairless, but it takes work, like consistent upkeep. But as I was becoming a queen in prison, I did make sure to shave my whole legs, my whole body, arms, everything. I would keep like smooth. And how I did this is, I don't know how other queens do it. They got their routines, whatever it is that works for them. But me, I just would do it like every couple of days while I'm in the shower. I would, you know, sometimes I would do it every time I take a shower. Like, you know, I would do maybe just like my legs one night, then I do my private areas the next night in the shower, and then I do my stomach and my chest the next night while I'm in the shower, my arms the following night, or if it's every couple of days, I would do like my lower body one night, and then 2 days later my upper body, you know, flip it like that. But that's how I stayed like smooth. So okay, high voice, the girlier you sound, the better. No hair, no bodily hair. And then now we are moving on to clothes, I would say. They get their clothes tailored to make it as snug, tight. The order of this list that I'm going is like little things to more bigger things. And there's 5 of them that I got on this list. And things that I completely did to partially did to I didn't do. Okay, but get your clothes tailored. They would, you know, usually you would go to other queens. You would have a queen do this for you, or you would do it yourself. I don't really think that there was like guys that did this for the queens. This was like a in-house type of thing, like girl on girl type of thing. You know, you would have a queen tailor your clothes, or you would tailor your clothes yourself. But they make sure that their pants are skin tight, just like a woman's. Shirts skin tight, jackets tight. Whatever it is that you wear, whether it's state clothes, you're not supposed to alter state clothes, but people do it. Whether it's state clothes or personal property that you buy, like on property, especially personal property, you alter it and tailor it to make sure it's really tight, and you know, it hugs you just like a woman's, like women's clothes. Where I guess I compromised with this a little bit is my shirts. I would cut off my shirts to where they kind of, usually I wear shirts that just fall slightly below my waistline or stop at my waistline. That's like my normal style anyway, and they're kind of tight. Like, I guess these shirts are sort of tight, but in prison the shirt size was still the same. I didn't get any that hugged me. I would just buy the smallest size, and that was that. But I did cut my shirts to where, like, you could see my belly button, you know, so that was kind of like my compromise, I guess, to look girly, because God forbid if I had a baggy shirt or a low-hanging shirt, or, you know, baggy pants or something like that, like, that would have just been hot gossip. People would have been wondering what the hell I was doing, that I'm trying to turn guys out. But okay, then moving on to the next thing. These last 2 things, these are, I didn't do these. Well, I guess we could say the 4th one I partially did. Again, the 4th way of how gay men turn into women in prison is they wear makeup. They literally wear makeup. There's 2 ways of how they get makeup. Either they befriend a female, well, I guess maybe 3. They either befriend a female CO that gives the makeup. You know, the CO wouldn't necessarily smuggle it in. She probably got some makeup and she, you know, gives it to him. I don't know whether gay people don't pay for too many things, but sometimes they might, you know, maybe. I think that it's just kind of like a lookout type of thing, or whatever the exchange would be. I don't know because I didn't do it, but whatever the exchange would be is whatever it is. But that's how they would get it, through a female CO. And now they have actual makeup that they can wear and put on, and you see it in there. You see the queens with legitimate makeup on, looking crazy in my opinion. They don't be looking like what we see on YouTube with James Charles and Jeffree Star. They be looking like clowns. That's why I didn't wear it. But I guess where I do always wear makeup is my eyebrows. I darken my eyebrows because I don't have any. I don't have any eyebrows. For whatever reason, God played a humongous joke on me and blessed my body to be hairy from like my eyes down to my ankles, but my eyebrows will not grow any hair to save my life. And it drives me crazy because I always love guys that have those thick, like Middle Eastern guys or something, that have those thick eyebrows. Cam has really thick eyebrows, and I tell him all the time how beautiful his eyebrows are. But I always wanted to have like thick eyebrows like that. But I don't have any hair on my eyebrows, so I've always been doing this. Like since 14 years old, I've been darkening my eyebrows, you know, so I did it in there. And which how I did it, I used colored pencils while I was in there, which is another way of how queens do their makeup. They use colored pencils and they draw on their face, do their makeup with colored pencils. And the third way of how they do it is they might have a man that he actually purchased makeup from a CO that he's cool with or something like that for his queen, or maybe he might buy it off the yard, maybe, I don't know. But yeah, that's the fourth way of how gay guys become, you know, women in prison. And the final way, the fifth and final way, which I absolutely did not do, is that they tuck their penis. Literally, since they're wearing those tight clothes and they're walking around the compound trying to appear like a woman, obviously you can't be wearing tight pants and you have your penis print is poking out in your pants. That is not going to attract any of the guys on the compound, on the rec yard. That is not going to attract none of them. You have to tuck that thing and make it look like it don't exist, which people used to get on me about, the queens and the guys, because I did not tuck my penis and I didn't see the reason to do it. Like, what? I'm not trying to appeal to, I didn't want to be attractive to these type of guys anyway. For one, they're convicts. Prior to going to prison, I never dated people like that. Like, call me ignorant, call me whatever. I just didn't, you know, I just didn't. I'm not from the same circle, you know, like I just wasn't running with people like that, you know, so I didn't date people like that. And now I'm not only in prison where I have to date criminals, but then these same criminals are only attracted to me because I'm reminding them of a woman. I didn't date guys like that either. I don't want, you know what I mean? I'm not trying to appeal to these type of people. So I didn't see the point. What would I do that for? I'm a gay man, but it don't exist in prison. If it does exist, but they're in the closet. They're secretive. They don't want anybody to know, and they hide it. Either well, to the point where you don't know, or not so well, where people suspect something, but they never own up to it. They would even fight somebody for somebody like trying to say that. Like, there's some gay guys that I did actually know were gay, and because, you know, they would eventually kind of, you know, become cool with me or something, and they would get the fighting with somebody else who's like trying to call them gay. You know, they don't want nobody thinking that. But queens would ask me about it or tease me about it, and then of course guys would ask me about it, which I'd always think the same thing, and sometimes I'd even say it. I'm like, why are you looking? Like, what's it to you? How would you even notice that you can see my penis print unless you were looking? Why are you looking? I thought you're not gay. You know? But it just, these are the rules. These are the rules. So yeah, that is my 5 ways. And then I guess obviously the final way, but this is if you're actually in transition. My 5 ways that I just gave you, it's really for posers. These are the guys like myself. We're actually gay guys. We're really gay, but we're now in prison where the guys that are attracted to us, they're not attracted to us because they're gay. They're attracted to us because they want to be reminded of what it's like to be with a woman. You know, they miss being with a woman, so they want to use this person, use me, use us as female replacement. You know? But for the ones that actually believe that they are women, or feel that they are women, or, you know, should have been born as women and they are now in transition, like genuinely, sincerely, then obviously the final step you would take is taking hormones, being on the patch, you know, the pill, injections, whatever it is, and they start to develop breast while they're in prison, but they can't get no reassignment surgery from behind bars, so they have a penis and they got boobs. You know, that would be the final step, but otherwise, it's just those 5 things, you know. I guess there's other things, like, you know, but that's really the main things. Like, because the other things that I would say is, you know, people saying you need to pee while you're sitting down, I don't know, just stupid stuff like that. But those 5 things are really the main things. So, that is my video. I hope you enjoyed it. Leave a comment. Don't forget to like and subscribe, honey. And I love you guys. I'll see you in the next one. I love you guys' comments. And please be safe. Be careful out here. Be careful out here in these streets. I love you. Bye.